Okay, so this video was supposed to come out during, well, either the login, well, event that was like for the 100th event, well, kind of celebration, or at latest the during the 100th event. But as the time of recording and definitely the time this comes out, it will be either the 100, well, it's the 101st event at time of recording, but may come out during, again, the 102nd or onwards. Depends on how much I fast track this.
Yes.
Which it may fast track it to hopefully come out during, well, the 101st event.
Yeah.
Just depends on what transpires, which I guess with that being said, I should kind of get onto what we're doing, which
Yes.
I think is kind of obvious by the title. Doing a little video to kind of commemorate, well, D4DJ Groovy Mix's 100th event, although we are a bit late to the party in typical fashion.
Where do we kick off?
Well, I guess we might as well go and look back at, well, some of my favorite events, well, from the past 100 events and that, which
Yeah.
it's a shame you can't really reminisce much because I don't think you really, well, you played the game a couple of times and because I lent you my phone, it's like, here, give this a crack, even though I think you absolutely buggered up a lot of life on easy.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I would expect you to be a bit better at the game.
I've said it before, these types of games really aren't set up for actual musicians. The way that, particularly with beat games, I find, yeah, the way that they're set up just doesn't quite, it's not like a one-to-one.
Although on a higher difficulties, it seems to kind of merge with the rhythm a bit more, so that could have been that too.
I found that, yep, as well.
And also, I do have the speed tweaked a bit, but I guess with that tangent aside, I guess we have to look at at least the first event before, while we get into some of my favorites, which, not saying I don't enjoy the first event, the first event story is pretty good, and that is Nonstop the Best, which is actually one hell of a name for your first event, which is a Maymeadow event, which the story is essentially, yeah, Maymeadow goes to Singapore, which I can't see really a better combination, considering like if Maymeadow could go anywhere, I would say, yeah, Singapore would definitely be like a place they would go to.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice, but now thinking of it, it kind of does make sense.
Not only that, but I can remember bits and pieces of it because, well, I haven't really revisited many of the event stories since, well, initially reading them, but I can remember bits and pieces of it, and I can say the story's pretty good. But again, let's move on to the first collaboration event, which is, well, the first quintessential quintuplets collab, which is the reason for quintuplets, which I gotta say, me and me mate just absolutely memed this one part of, I think, the third chapter of the story.
Oh, okay.
It's just this one line that we just shout out to each other when meeting each other, or just, again, over a call for no real reason. It's just funny. I do enjoy it because it's the story, because it is definitely an interesting premise, considering, well, I gotta remember who was involved. I think it was Mooney, Toa, Noah, and I think Haruna. I think, yeah, that's all the characters involved in it, and they actually cosplay as members, well, the characters from, well, that series.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Which, yeah, it's really interesting. I have to show you the event story. Although I may be, well, showing you the clip of this one line that me and me mate just, well, kind of, again, usually greet each other in, or just, again, say just for, well, the sake of kind of bit memeing.
Yeah.
Which, if I have got the clip inserted here now. Moving on to, well, the first event that, well, I kind of, well, really enjoyed was the Happy Summer Splash. If it's, yeah, it is. I just had to do the mental gymnastics real quick.
Yeah.
Which is, again, Happy Aroundo does, well, go to a well, what is it? Not what's the, I guess a water park. That has to be a proper name for it, and I can't think of it right now, isn't it? Like,
yeah, a water park or a water amusement park, I guess.
either one works.
Yeah.
And although one interesting thing I can remember about the story is that, well, the gang does end up getting split up and then spend like basically the entire day trying to find each other, which, yeah.
It's pretty relatable. That absolutely happens at those places.
Not only that, but also some of the character cards are really good. Actually, one of my, up there is one of my favorite character, well, Maho cards is from this event.
Cool.
There's another event that I'll probably bring up a little bit later on, which also has a card that's tied for best Maho card. And then to the event that kind of came after that, which is Peaky Storm Story, which actually the story is a bit interesting from what I can remember, considering there was, I think, a bit of division going on between the Peaky members, but
Yeah.
Again, that could be just me misremembering a bit. But again, there was that one bloody card, that Shinobi card that I do like, but didn't get during the event. And it took me about a year to get another shot at getting it, which, yeah, let's say I was a bit tight on money that week.
Right.
That's anyway to sum it up, which, God damn, that was such a pain.
I bet.
It doesn't help that I've got another Shinobi card that I have the same problem with. So yeah, I'm going to be from next paycheck going to be even more tighter than I am now on money, which is already pretty tight. So I guess further, money issues aside, let's move on to the next noteworthy event. Although we're going to skip over quite a few here. Oh, the Mermaido Christmas story or event, which is Holy Starry Christmas. I just had to double check the name there, which I'm going to say is kind of a nice, really good event story, considering it's like this girl that never really had, the chance to experience Christmas with friends, and like Mermaido's like, okay, let's go and you have a Christmas experience that you won't forget.
Right.
And that's basically the whole story, and it's just kind of wholesome.
Yeah, okay.
Considering that, this girl is like, I'm not sure the age, but I'd say like early teens probably at oldest.
Okay.
It's never really it's mostly had most of her Christmases home alone.
Yeah, right.
Which, again, it's just a nice story, which after that fight, the events, oh God, you can tell my brain's not currently at 100%. Here's the, I gotta pull my phone up here. Revenge Clever Snowball fight, which has the other Maho card that I really like.
Oh, okay.
God damn it, what's with my tongue today? Actually, I think it's my English. Which actually, kind of going back to the first event, the cards were pretty nice. I just forgot about that and only brought it up now because I remembered. But I guess here's a Photon Maiden event that I really like, the Cyber Police Case Files event, which I think is one of the few events that I may have a complete event card set.
Oh, okay.
So actually, because for each event you get 4 new character cards. So and usually, especially back early on, you could only really get them for that event.
Yeah.
Then after that, maybe a gotcha or two after you'd get it, or you'd have to wait a bit just for a revival gotcha to bring them back.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
But I was able to get a full set during the event, which I don't know how, but I managed to. Not only that, but the event story is also noteworthy.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Considering, Photon Maiden kind of cosplay as cops for this like film or something that's coming out.
Interesting.
And then at the end of the day, Noah and Toa wander off and they see this cat run down this alley and they follow after it, end up in the back of a truck, and then the truck ends up driving off.
Oh,
so they basically just get kidnapped in that, even though they were found due to some Deus Ex Machina.
Right.
Considering that what they were singing in the back, and somehow Saki was able to kind of see their colors and that. And they were somehow able to catch the truck at the stoplight, which...
That's funny.
Yeah, the truck driver was kind of confused when there was 2 people in the back of his truck that should not be there.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Which, was better than, them ended up getting shipped to God knows where.
Yeah, for sure.
Which, a bit of a wild story. It's just considering it's a bit of a different from the usual stories. Of course, I would remember it.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, yes. The Rinkyu Amamoto Exploration Party choose a mysterious rare creature. I'm not even going to read the text below that because it's so small. Even looking up at my phone, I can't see it. That I don't think I really... not sure if I ever read the event story. I'm not sure. But again, I just absolutely like the character card designs, considering which I should probably show you up some of the character cards up on screen. But they kind of got that Indiana Jones feel to them, which considering it's the story I think is based around an adventure is kind of not surprising.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
And a lot of their designs are pretty neat, although I guess it's more of a kind of colonial British feel to it. But
Right.
But I guess that's not too far from a feel like Indiana Jones.
No, definitely not.
And then we have the second quintessential quintuplets collab event, which I'm going to gloss over it because I actually kind of didn't really enjoy this event. This event was kind of, put together to kind of promote the film.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if I looked into the story, but again, I just wasn't such a warm reception to it the first time around. And then, let's move over to a peaky event that, again, I like the character cards for. And again, it's kind of a bit I'm not sure if I read the event story or not, but again, this is still like over a year ago, so memory's a bit shot, and that is Peaky's Summer, or Peaky's Freedom Summer. There we go. Which
Cool.
there's one character card that which is that Shinobi card that I've been talking about that
Right.
I'm hoping to get, but again, I'm thinking just luck's not going to be on my side, and it's just going to be a small fortune. So it's like, do I wait for the next year around, or
Right. Yeah.
especially considering, well, money's always going to be tight. But okay, that one's noteworthy. It's the one where Lyrical Lily just end up playing detectives.
Oh, okay.
Well, I describe it as that because again, it's been a while and I don't think actually I've read the story of this one either. But again, I like the idea of the event and I think the story could go in an interesting direction. But I just, again, really like the character cards considering it does have a Sherlock Holmes kind of feel to it,
cool.
which is a shame I'm kind of oversimplifying it, but I'm trying to keep this short. Last thing you want is an hour of me talking about events, which would work out to be, well, I'd have to cover them pretty quick anyway.
Oh, yeah.
If I was to do all 100 events in an hour. Oh, that event. I can't really remember much about it, but it's the, I think that's the relationship event between Maho and Saki where, it's basically, Saki stalking Maho some more. So if you were enjoying that from First Mix, you get some more of that with this event.
Right.
And then I guess this will be the last one considering we're getting near to the we're getting near the 100th event. And that is the Nano of the Dead event, which is a Lyrical Lily event. And I guess this is something a bit for the Shining fans, considering one of the character cards is a bit of an homage to that.
Oh, cool.
Which is awesome. I guess we should leave off with the 100th event, which is this summer's My Kawaii, which that one was interesting. The login screen, which I should have a screenshot of, so insert here is like I think the best way to sum up my reaction to seeing that login screen was like, again, that meme where it's like the two fellas and they're like, damn.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which was even more funny considering I was like, okay, I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. I'm just going to quickly log into D4DJ before I go to bed. And I soon saw that and I went from basically about ready to go to sleep to wide awake like, damn.
Yeah, right.
I think, well, I guess that's kind of a look back at the, past 100 events. Although I would like to broad up the D4 Fest event stories, but
yes.
I've missed a good chunk of them and the few that I've seen are pretty good.
Okay.
And they weren't here, so I couldn't name the Pacific ones that had good stories, but those were pretty good too, so just bring them up here.
Cool.
So I guess that's kind of, again, a look at the past 100 events, and I guess here's to 100 more.
How would you compare the very first event to now the 100th event?
I can't say story-wise, because I haven't looked through the story because, again, I've been a bit busy lately.
But I guess, overall experience, like the cards that you get, is there a pretty clear difference between the very first event and the 100th? Is there sort of a progression there of the game and the experience?
Well, not really, considering the biggest thing I've glossed over is the event types, because each event kind of has a type which kind of affects gameplay a bit.
Ah, okay.
But the thing is, it's just a rotation between the same types. So it's not really even worth noting, considering that if it's going to be this event, it's going to, play like this. So it's kind of not noteworthy. And I just don't really bother engaging with that part of it anymore.
Okay, fair enough.
Like at most, one event type will kind of change how I'd grind the event. There's a few... Like there were a few of the collabs which had a few tweaks, but again, nothing really, worth to write home about. But what was that event? There was an event where it was a rave type event, which is kind of new considering that haven't really done it before.
Okay.
And it was actually kind of neat and interesting because, it was something different.
Yeah, right.
So I'd like to see more of that in the future just because, or even just different event types. Although my personal favorite is the, the poker type event.
Okay,
which is basically just a good way to grind up some coins.
Right.
Considering if you can get a couple of full houses, that's quite a few coins to bank.
Yeah.
Which I guess that kind of brings us to the end of this video. Well, I guess before we head on off, again, leave a like and leave a comment down below, which is what is some of your favorite events from this game, and if there's any events that you're excited for coming in the near future.
Absolutely. Are there any specific cards that you're hunting for, like Briggsy is?
Although, I guess speaking of upcoming events I'm looking forward to a collab event for once, which Normally, I kind of have a bit of an apathetic response towards collaboration events, but at least this is with an IP that I know. So,
Oh, okay.
of course, I'm going to be a little bit, less apathetic towards, and that is the Spy Classroom collab, which has happened in Japan. And from my predictions, as kind of a rule of thumb, if an event happens in Japan, it usually happens over here a month or two later.
Right.
But then it's gone to the point where there is such a wide gap, it's kind of not as accurate as it used to be, but that used to be the general rule of thumb. Wait like a month or two and you should get the event, which kind of leads to the whole anniversary events.
Right. Yeah.
I think that Japan gets only one anniversary event a year, but the EN gets two. It gets the JP anniversary, but also gets its own anniversary.
That's funny.
So you got the 1 year and 2 year, which is for JP, and then you got the 1.5 and 2.5 for EN.
Yeah, okay.
Considering roughly that the EN version launched half a year later or roundabout, which also explains why the EN's also a bit behind on events. Although I'm not sure if the JP also gets the EN anniversaries. I'm not sure. It's something I've been wanting to kind of get into is the JP version, which it's already the EN version taking up a large amount of my time. So yay. Now I'm going to have to even more large amounts of my time taken up by the JP, which at least now with the updated UI, it should be two different. So I should be able to kind of work around the UI. I guess I'll see you in the next video.
See you next time.